Happy last Saturday of 2024. I like ending my year with questions and observations. My question for you two it is: did 2024 bring the end of the Black church sector on social media? It's like it's ran its course in a way. The content it's pretty redundant at this time. How many times can we hear about outside babies, misappropriation of funds, affairs, how drinking, drugs? How many stories do we need to hear of the same thing over and over again? How many lawsuits do we need to hear about and hanging on to with bated breath? How many, um, Reid shade drags do we need to hear? Um, Pretty much it's the same thing over and over again within the Black church sector. And I'm curious to know, did 2024 finally bring an end to the Black church sector as we know it? Not saying something different will happen. Maybe they'll choose a different approach. If they want it to be lucrative and profitable, they will have to take a different approach to the Black church sector. But it's the same wash, rinse, repeat over and over again. And I've had this conversation previously about the fear of doing something different and how it costs people financially because they're too afraid to do something different along the same lines. And so they just end up being parasitic to someone else's effort and they just figure, I'll just live off the scraps of what they're doing opposed to approaching it from a fresh position. Now, what we have not seen, it's people who see these situations and approach them with a spiritual lens and really use them as opportunities to have life lessons um, for their individual lives, and also that may be beneficial to the collective. That's what we have not seen because we're getting real world, real time examples, right? And that is the most powerful way to be able to utilize what is going on around you. But most people choose not to. Instead, they want to critique what someone else is doing. Um, I just feel like the numbers for the church sector are not as high as they used to be. Um, they do numbers, but the numbers for TikTok and YouTube, and Facebook are more volatile and short-lived than they are on other platforms. Where you can run numbers. You just the money make itself in its sleep. You don't have to do a whole lot of work for that money. The money just run itself up, and it's easy income. It's still passive income. But I found that it's more lucrative and less time consuming and less financial investment than it is for YouTube and TikTok. And then the formula of kill, steal, destroy don't work on those other platforms like they do on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. That formula don't work on those other platforms that you're able to make a whole lot of money very fast. And not only that, is lifelong content. It's lifelong content. And the Black church sector doesn't have a place there. So the only way the Black church sector really started running numbers is with the cash apps, is with the Zales, the donation aspect of it. So you still using the Black church model that people complain about the Black church wanting people money, but you're still using the Black church financial model for success on social media, which that's very telling. In 2004, you're still using that same formula even though people are complaining about that formula, but they're okay with the formula if it's on social media. Strange but true. Another thing, oh my goodness. Excuse me, sorry, y'all. I wanted to grab some lotion. Another thing, sorry, that's my lotion. Another thing is that the content of the Black church sector. I mean, they get mad at each other, they get to suing each other, they okay with each other. It's just drama. It's just like being in church, but it's not the normal church. I think 2024 bears the question of, are we still watching the things that ail the Black church, unravel themselves, and we're not addressing them. We just enjoying the mess of it, the drama of it, the whispering in the pew. That's what I call it. The whispers in the pew. Um, we still haven't found a way or made a decision to address those things as they come in real time, instead of just taking a side, you know. Is 2024 going to be the year we just realize that our behaviors we're reflecting on social media are the same behaviors we were exhibiting in the edifices, and that's what led to the demise of the edifice and the falling away of a lot of people. So, uh, what did you gain for 2024 within the sectors or platforms that you consume, that you invested your time in? Is the end of the year. I don't know how many hours of your year you've provided to them, but did it yield a return in your life? Did it benefit your life? Did it edify, increase your life in any capacity? What spiritual insight and wisdom did you gain or benefit from any of it? Financially, any of it? Socially, any of it? So those are things that we're very uh we like to be introspective about these things, but I'm just curious. um and so I'm excited about going into 2025, um and just being thankful. But I did want to come by and just kind of ask that question about, and still doing my Deborah. I'm still doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it, and every time I feel like doing it, sitting under the tree and posing questions and making decisions. And that's the question. In 2025, I hate to say it, there isn't really an excuse for anyone to be crumb snatching. I'm serious. No crumb snatching or bone snatching. Like, it's not necessary. There are opportunities on other platforms that do the numbers, run the numbers, and trust me, you do not have to go into this dark um energy, in this dark place, spiritually, in order for you to make money. You don't have to. You don't have to get into the crap fest. You don't have to wallow around in the mud just to stay cool like you're a pig. You're not. So that's something to think about. Number two, you don't have to avail yourself to stuff like this to deal with your stress. I done been through it, and I done told you, this is the darkest abyss you can go down if you're trying to distract yourself from stressful things, situations, scenarios, and experiences. This is the worst way. That's the worst way to go about it. So it's wiser to identify what's stressing you. What can you do about it? What do you want to do about it? What have you tried to do about it? You get what I'm saying? And consume that content instead, because there isn't any reason in 2025 for you not to be making lots and lots of money off of social media and not having to go this route, this avenue. And I think that we're seeing a slowdown with some people finances for a problem, because you don't want to be in the blessing business no more. You don't want to be a vessel no more. You just want to take, you want to consume, you want to receive, but you don't want to pour out to anybody. And so when you get to that point, it starts slowing things down spiritually for you. You won't receive at the same capacity. And financially, you're not going to receive at the same capacity. And in closing, did 2024 expose what the Black church really about? Is it just about social and money? Did it really finally grind down to an halt that that's it? Did 2024 expose the reality that those who are really devout in faith are not doing digital no more, trying to fellowship digital no more because they've figured out it don't work. They can't do it because there's always someone trying to throw a tear in the wheat. There's someone always wanting to be a goat in with the sheep. Always, always. And because of that, people are back and back when it comes to their spiritual walk. They're not even dealing with social media like that. They are coming together in private, you know what I'm saying, away from the digital platforms because they've realized the spirit of the Antichrist is so heavy on these platforms. It ain't nothing to play with. It is busy trying to get people to fall away from the faith. And that's a real thing right now. That's no exaggeration or anything like that. That's real. That's real. And I said it years ago, the spirit of the Antichrist is not uh what people think it is. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of perceiving things and situations. And as you all know, when I started my platform, it is 100% Christ centered. And you could understand that the approach of the content was Christ centered, right? It is revelation and information at the same time. Those who are not Christ centered, you got just what you wanted. You got a conversation, honey. That's all you got. That's all you left with. And that cycle of the conversation, now what's left? That's the question. Crumbs. And that's all. That's it. So what did 2024 tell us about what we're gonna do next, how we're doing next? Um, I do encourage you to check out some of the other platforms. Like I was telling you, you don't have to be doing this Shaolin monk, sabotage, espionage. Um, it's a lot safer, and you can run them numbers so easy. It's crazy. Like one piece of content that you don't have to do no whole lot to you don't have to stimulate them over and over again like you do on these other platforms. I hate to say it that way because you have to constantly be engaging them, stimulating them. They're high touch opposed to the other platforms that are global platforms as well. You're not doing all of that. You're not, and you're doing real numbers. So check into it. And not only that, if you're not making real money, using positivity and using knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and not that antichrist system of commerce. You don't have to use that system of commerce. You're choosing to use it because that's all you've seen, and that's all we've been using or seeing used. If you don't choose to use knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of what's going on right now, and the wisdom you have, and put it together and be able to make you money, then it's time for a great reset for yourself and for your own life. And look at it that you stimulate yourself, be stimulated off of something else, and your returns will be much, 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 much greater. I have to see you all in 25. I don't know how many more lawsuits we need to see and hear about it. And child, I'm over it. I hate to say it that way. I'm over it. Yeah, how many times they got to sue each other? How many times they got to be caught cheating? And you know, did 2024 finally bring an end to it? Even the good old beef sector came to an end, but I got to admit, the span run shorter and shorter. Beef sector was for years. Black church sector is getting their time span getting shorter and shorter, shorter and shorter, less and less money because the same formula keep working to get rid of them when they start doing good on those platforms. I don't know if nobody noticed that. It's the same formula over and over again. That's why you got to use something else. I'm just saying. See y'all in 2025. Always, always be blessed, be stressed, and nothing else. Have a good one. Bye.